Hi everyone, it's Wednesday and today we are rounding to the nearest 10 and to the nearest 100. Our learning intentions and success criteria include we are learning to group, partition and rearrange collections of up to 1,000 in hundreds, tens and ones. We can sequence numbers from smallest to largest using a number line, partition 3-digit numbers into tens and ones, and round numbers to the nearest 10 and 100. Count forwards, count backwards, number before, number after, more than, number line, number chart, digit, zero, ones, groups of tens, tens, groups of 100 and hundreds, and round to are all the words that we need to use from our word wall this week. Okay, rounding to the nearest 10. When we are rounding to the nearest 10, remember to look at the ones numeral. If the ones digit is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, then the tens digit stays the same. For example, 14, the tens digit stays as a 1. It moves down to a 10, but the tens digit stays the same. Okay, if the ones numeral is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, then the tens numeral goes up by 1. So let's see here. So we've got 57. To round 57 up, we need to go to the next 10. When we go to the next 10, we find that our tens digit has to go up by 1. So it changes from a 5 to a 6. And so 57 is rounded up to 60. Okay, so I'll just repeat that again just for some practice, and this is always a good little poster to come back to. If the units digit is 1, 2, 3 or 4, leave the 10 just as before. If it's 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, round up to the next 10 on the number line. Okay, so we've got a number line here for you today, and we're going to try and work out where our numbers need to go on the number line and where they need to be rounded up to the next 10 or down to. Okay, so let's have a look. Our first number is 31. So we can see that 31 is on our number line. It is very close to 30 and quite a long way until it gets to 40. So the nearest 10 to 30 is, to 31 is 30. Okay, so we can check that we're correct by following our rule. So if the 1, 2, 3 or 4, leave the 10 just as before. Okay, so 31, so it had a 1 on the end, so we need to leave it as the same 10, which is the 30. Okay, let's try that again. So we've got 87, so we've put 87 onto our number line. 87 ends with a 7. So following our rule, if it's 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, round up to the next 10 on the number line. Okay, so it's got a 7, so that means that our 8 is going to have to move up to the next 10. So let's have a look. Our next 10 will be 90. So let's circle that so we know that that's the correct number. Okay, we're going to do some practice now. We're going to round to the nearest 10. So let's have a look at the number 44. So we can see that 4 is the beginning number in the tens column and 4 is in the ones column. So remembering our rule, what did it say when our number was 1, 2, 3 or 4? That's right. We have to keep in the same tens. We don't need to go up. We can keep our number in the tens column the same when we're rounding to 10. Okay, so we've got some options here. We've got a 40, we've got a 50, we've got a 60. So if I'm not wanting to round up, I'm going to round down to the nearest 10. So let's have a look in our number line. So 44 would sit about here on our number line. Okay, it's a little bit closer to the 40 than it is to the 50. So our answer is going to be, you got it, 40. Okay, we're going to try rounding to the nearest 10 again. Let's try this with the number 89. So remembering our rhyme that if the number ends with a 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, round up to the next 10 on the number line. So 89 ends with a 9. So we need to round it up to the next 10. So let's have a look at where 89 would sit on our number line. Okay, it would sit just over here, just before the 90. So our next 10, what do you think would be? Let's see. That's right, 90. We would round it up to 90. Okay, we've just tried that with 2-digit numbers. Do you think we can do it with 3-digit numbers? Shall we give it a go? All right, so remember, it's exactly the same idea. We just need to look at our tens column to work out whether we go up or down to the next 10. All right, with this one, I've put on a different type of number line that you might use as a bit of a tool to work out where it would sit on, where our numbers would sit and where they fit along the number line to the nearest 10. Okay, so our number today is 574. All right, so let's have a look at the numbers that we have below. They might help us a little bit. We've got 500, 580 and 570. All right, so let's look firstly at the number at the end, our ones column. So it's ending in a 4. So when it's ending in a 4, that means we need to round down. So that means that we're going to actually leave our tens place exactly the same. So it's going to stay the same number, but we're going to round down. So 574 will be rounded down to 570. So one way that you might like to use the number line is you could write your numbers on the number line and work out where it is that your number fits on that number line. So that might be something else that you can try and do with this activity. Okay, let's try it again. I think we need another practice. Okay, let's do the number 307. All right, we can use our number line this time. I think this might help us a little bit. So the first thing that we need to do is have a look at our ones column. So our ones ends in the number 7. Okay, so remembering our rhyme, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, round up to the next 10 on the number line. Okay, so we know that if we're ending in a 7, we need to round up. So it's going to be to the next 10. So that already gives us a big clue. If we were to go down, the number below, the lowest number that we have here, is our 300. So let's pop 300 onto our number line. Okay. And then we're going to put our other number on the number line. I don't think we're going to need 320 because that's going up too many tens, isn't it? So let's try and leave that one and let's go straight to 310. We write it on our number line. And now we have to work out where our 307 would go on that number line. So let's have a look. Got 310, we can count back. 309, 308, 307. So let's put 307 on our number line. Okay. All right. So now that we've got all of our numbers on our number line, we need to work out which one 307 is closer to. We can see straight away that 307 is much closer to 310. And then we can also follow our rule that when we end with a 7, we need to round up to the next 10. So we can see that our answer is going to be 310. We are rounding up to 310. All right, now that we've been able to round to the nearest 10, I'm going to challenge you a little bit and we're going to round up to the nearest 100. When we are rounding to the nearest 100, remember to look at the tens digit. If the tens digit is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, then the hundreds digit stays the same. So for example, in the number 234, the tens digit is 3. So we have to round down, and we round down to the next 100. So the next 100 is 200, okay? So our hundreds digit stays the same as a 2, but our number rounds down to 200. If the tens digit is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, then the hundreds digit goes up by 1. So in the number 462, our tens digit has a 6 in it. So that means we have to go up to the nearest 100. So we're not going down, we're going up. And our nearest 100 is 500. So we're going up by 1 in our hundreds column. Okay, to practice this, I've got another little rhyme for you. If the tens digit is 1, 2, 3 or 4, leave the 100 just as before. If it's 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, round up to the next 100 on the number line. Okay, this time the numbers are already on the number line for you. We just have to work out where 531 fits. Okay, so we've got 500, we've got 550, and we've got 600. And we're wanting to round up or down to the nearest 100. Okay, so remember what we need to do? We need to look at our tens digit. And our tens digit in this case is a 3. So remember, if the tens digit is a 1, 2, 3 or 4, leave the hundreds just as before. So our 100 stays the same as the 5. So if we were going to put if we were going to put 531 onto our number line, we would put it a little bit up this. In fact, if we go up by tens, 5, 10, 520, 530, it would probably be just about here. So 531. It's a bit hard to see. Let's try that again. 531. Okay. So remember, we wanted to round it down because we don't need to go up for our hundreds column. We want to come down. So our nearest 100 is going to be 500. Okay, we're going to round 130 to the nearest 100. Okay, again, we're going to have a look at our tens digit, and we've got a 3 again. Okay, so the hundreds either side of 130 are going to be 200 or 100. So we have to work out whether it's 200 or 100. Okay, so we know that if we have our tens digit ending in a 3, that we have to round it down. Okay, so 130 is going to be rounded down to 100. So our answer will be 100. Okay, let's try the number 268. We already have some numbers on our number line to help us. We've got 200 or 300. We're looking at our tens digit. Have a think. Which one is our tens digit? I wonder. Do you know? Okay, our tens digit is our 6. What do we do when our tens digit is a 6? That's right, we have to round it up. Okay, so we've got 268 on our number line. Let's see where it should go. So we've got 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, and just about here we can add our 268. All right, now are we going to be rounding up or down? That's right, we follow our arrow that we made already today. 268 rounds up to 300. That is our next 100. So our answer is 300. Okay, let's see if you can do it without the number line this time. Round to the nearest 100. Our digit in our tens column is number, have a think, say it out loud. 8. Were you right? I'm sure you were. Okay, it's an 8. So if it's an 8, what do we have to do? That's right, we have to round it up. What is the next 100 after 800? 800, 900. So our answer is going to be 900. Okay, now it's your turn to go and have a go at practicing to do this on your own. So number 1, you're going to complete the number 3 Wednesday PDF from your Google Classroom. Number 2, play the triple digit card game from yesterday. So you're going to repeat the activity. You can choose the highest number that you can find, and then you'll round the number up to the nearest 10 or 100. So you can use the number line to help you. There's a number line in your Google Classroom waiting for you. And you can write the number in words and use the tool or draw a picture to add to your Google Doc. So there's a learning tool there that you can use to make pictures if you want to do it online. Otherwise, you can just do it on a piece of paper is perfectly fine. Okay, and number 3, some optional videos for you to watch. I actually really encourage you to watch these if you have the time to watch them. They just help you have a bit more of an understanding about rounding up to 10 or rounding down and rounding up and down to 100. Okay, and then last, number 4 is an optional game to play, which is another way that you can practice this skill. So I'd like you to choose to round to 10 up to 1000 and then try rounding up to 100, try rounding up to 100 up to the number 1000. Okay, so just challenging yourself and trying each of these activities to hopefully master this skill. Okay, good luck with everything. Bye.